So later on today, I'm going to be taking a look at the former home of West Ham United, Upton Park, aka the bowling ground. Wow, what's left of it. But right now, I'm about to do a stadium tour of their new home, the London Stadium. Before we look inside the ground, let's take a look around the outside of this beautiful stadium. Let's go. So if you're a subscriber of the channel, you'll know that this season we're visiting all 20 Premier League stadiums. This right here will be number 9, and after I've filmed this video, we're going to be heading off to Upton Park. But once I've done that video, 3 videos in a day, we're going to be heading off to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to watch Spurs versus Burnley in the FA Cup. So that'll be number 10. So before we crack on with this video, if you'd like to do us a favour and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the upcoming stadium tours, we've got some crackers coming up on the channel. But number 9, the former Olympic Stadium, the now London Stadium. It's looking awesome. First impressions are good. We're going to do a little bit of a background story on this stadium if you don't know already. Again, some of what I say isn't necessarily going to be all correct. It's just information I've picked up along the way. I'm very much exploring each and every stadium I visit this season, and if I do make a mistake, let us know in the comments below. But I'm buzzing. It looks really, really nice. We're inevitably going to do some comparisons with the Man City Etihad Stadium, the former stadium used for the Commonwealth Games in 2002. Obviously that was an Olympic stadium, kind of. It had the running track. So is this, but there are massive differences. The shackles are very much on this stadium, but we'll get on to that in a moment. Let's go and have a little wander around, shall we? I'm pretty sure that's a 1966 statue. Is it? I think it is. I think that's Bobby Moore. But let's just make our way through these gates. I don't think that is a 66. Oh, it is. It is. Or is it the Cup Winners' Cup win? Let's have a look. Yes, it's not. I looked at the trophy and I thought that doesn't look like the World Cup. This is West Ham's European champions. Over here we've got Martin Peters, Bobby Moore, and obviously Jeff Hurst. That's why I got confused with the 66 boys. So they're the same lads basically. They obviously beat 1860 Munich 2-0. And there's a beautiful statue. So obviously West Ham moved here in 2016 after years of deliberating and way in which they could get more of their fan base into the stadium. They toyed with the idea of extending Upton Park, aka the bowling ground, the Berlin ground, however you want to pronounce it. But obviously they settled on here. I've mentioned that later on today I'm going to be at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but did you know that there was a possibility of that beautiful stadium never being built? Planning and funding were proving to be very difficult with the new stadium, so they were very keen on moving here if things fell through. But when David Gold and David Sullivan took over West Ham in 2010, they decided against extending Upton Park, aka the bowling ground. I have to keep saying that because someone dropped me a message and said, Roy, it's not Upton Park, that's the place, it's the bowling ground. I know, but everyone knows it is Upton Park. They decided against extending it and instead make this place what was the Olympic Stadium, the new home of West Ham United Football Club. As I mentioned earlier, Tottenham Hotspur weren't going to make this easy for West Ham. They too were sniffing around Olympic Park. They planned to completely flatten this stadium and build possibly what they've got now right here on the site. But that wasn't necessarily going to be the case either. That wasn't necessarily going to be easy for them. They then joined forces with Leyton Orient, and then those two made a bid of their own. Now, Tottenham Hotspur again became a bit of a thorn in West Ham's side, but ultimately through lengthy court battles they submitted in 2011 and Leyton Orient carried on bidding for this stadium themselves. They argued that if West Ham came here with all the new seats, they wouldn't be able to fill the stadium, and they thought that they would sell tickets off cheap and therefore hinder the growth of Leyton Orient. They thought, why would people go and watch Leyton Orient when they can basically get near enough free tickets, cheap tickets right here to watch Premier League football? Ultimately that didn't really happen, and West Ham have no problem filling this stadium. But again, similar to Spurs, Leyton Orient did make it very, very difficult. So it wasn't easy for West Ham to get here and to make this their home. I know Leyton Orient are the closest club to this stadium, but can you seriously imagine if Leyton Orient had been successful and actually started playing their football here? They said that West Ham wouldn't be able to fill the stadium. I'm sure Leyton Orient would be able to fill this stadium. I've actually been to Leyton Orient Stadium when I was a kid. I watched them play Hereford United back in the day, and we also did a tour of the old Wembley back in the 90s. Don't know why I told you that. But anyway guys, we're going to continue this little walk round the stadium. For me, I've done a bit of a wander. It looks exactly the same no matter where you go. That's kind of the thing with these modern circular dome style stadiums. Again, when West Ham moved in here, I think it was Boris Johnson was really adamant on the running track around the stadium staying, and nobody wanted the whole circular kind of look of the stadium to be altered. They built this stadium maybe not in the same kind of open-minded planning that went into the 2002 Commonwealth Games Stadium that Man City took over. Obviously that was a very different agreement. When the Etihad, formerly known as the City of Manchester Stadium, the stadium that was used for the Commonwealth Games, when that was built, essentially City had, I think it's called like a legacy contract, whereby the arrangement was always for Man City to go into that stadium post Commonwealth Games in 2002. I think City moved in 2003, a day later. But because they had that pre-planned, obviously the cost to convert the stadium to what it is now was a lot lower than what West Ham have had to pay to convert this stadium. There was a lot of stubbornness, and even now, we'll go into that. We won't get into it too much in detail because obviously we've got a stadium tour booked and we're going to be inside, but the seats actually retract and go over the running track. Apparently it's imperative that this stadium retains the running track. So obviously if they'd had foresight when building this that a football club could use it, whether that was West Ham, Leyton Orient, Spurs or whoever, I think the stadium would have been a lot more versatile. But I suppose it is more versatile because if they wanted to, they could turn it back into what was the Olympic Stadium with a running track and stuff. Anyway guys, let's continue this little wander around. There is the stadium shop over there. Remember, when I go to all 20 of these Premier League stadiums, we have to buy one item from the club shop. So we need to address the elephant in the room. Yes, you've seen that thumbnail. I am a Manchester United fan. Now's your time to get in the comments and say, oh, here we are, another Man United fan, not from Manchester. Call me a glory fan, whatever, I'll take it. It's all banter and I enjoy it. But not only did I follow Manchester United growing up, I'm born in Hereford and I followed Hereford United. Now, in the distance over there, you can see the star boy, star man of West Ham United, Jared Bowen, who, like me, would watch Hereford United as a kid, later to become Hereford FC. And speaking of Hereford FC, Jared Bowen made his start in football at Hereford FC. Obviously later on went to Hull and then later on become a West Ham player and become a European champion. Now if you just look at the picture on screen right now, that is not the Milky Bar kid, that is your main man over there, Jared Bowen. So yes, go easy on me, I'm from Hereford, I'm not from Manchester, but with the Manchester United links, I'm not going to lie to you, I've had a love-hate relationship with West Ham over the years. West Ham, we mentioned a thorn in West Ham's ass being Leyton Orient when putting in a bid for this place. West Ham were a thorn in my ass, because, basically a thorn in Man United's ass, because let's be honest, West Ham United are the definition of a Man United bogey team. West Ham have always caused Man United problems. My very first full season watching Premier League football was the 94-95 season. And obviously, infamously, on the final day, Man United struggled, I was just about to point, not here, at Upton Park, when they failed to beat West Ham. Everything went against United in terms of they just couldn't put away chances. Ludek McCloskey, the West Ham goalie, was saving everything that came towards him. Again, going back to Upton Park, the final game of Upton Park, I think fittingly, was a game against Manchester United in which West Ham won 3-2. Now I can point over here because recently West Ham have beat Man United 2-0 here. So as a United fan, again, love-hate relationship. The love part, again, maybe more recently with links to Jared Bowen. My brother and my dad are massive Hereford fans, Hereford FC fans, follow them home and away, and obviously speak very, very highly of Mr. Bowen. So when I was in school, there was a lad who was a West Ham fan who was, being brutally honest, a pain in the ass. I think partly why I disliked West Ham wasn't because of those Man United ties, was just because I didn't really like the kid. He was a bit of a dickhead. There was another bully at school who was an Arsenal fan, and for that reason I didn't really like Arsenal as well. But right now I've got a lot of respect for West Ham, and there's always a debate, isn't there, like, are West Ham a big club because they've never won an English Football League title, you know, in the top flight? But obviously, as I looked at the statue behind me again, they were European Cup Winners' Cup champions, and obviously, as West Ham fans like to tell you, they won England the World Cup with Martin Peters, Geoff Hurst and Bobby Moore. Just want to look at the floor over here. We recently went to the Hawthorns, home of West Brom, as well as Wolves, and you find these unique kind of personalised bricks. It seems to be a thing football clubs do. It's not sort of unique to West Ham or any of the other clubs. Let's just read one. We've got one here which says True Hammers, Andy Wooders and Cian Woodcock. Let's look at another one. Preston and Ronnie, Gracie May, True Hammers. So it's nice that West Ham fans get to kind of personalise the ground. That's the thing, like, they've took on this ground and it kind of divided opinion amongst West Ham fans when they moved here. I've named the title, Is It Better Than Upton Park? Well, they've tried their best to personalise. Obviously we've not looked inside yet, but the outside, you've seen that I'm Forever blowing bubbles on all the doors. They've got the bricks, they've got loads of branding around the stadium, so they're very much trying their best to make this as homely as possible for the West Ham fans. So obviously, with those famous names of Bobby Moore, Martin Peters and Geoff Hurst, as I said, they've never won a top flight English Football League title. But if there was any debate that West Ham are currently not a big club, I think the debate is invalid, because West Ham are the current second in the average Premier League attendances for the 23-24 season. As of filming this right here, as I'm looking at my notes, West Ham's average attendance for this season so far is 62,466. I believe at the moment, it has changed over the years, it's 62,500 their attendance, their capacity, sorry, should I say, not attendance. Again, the guide will tell us in a moment if that's right, but Man United is 73,514. So we mentioned the Man United West Ham derby. It is quite a, you know, it's quite a big derby, to be fair. There's a lot of hatred there, a lot of nastiness, but essentially the two of them are the two highest Premier League clubs this season. I'm just looking over there and I have no idea what the hell that is. Obviously it must have something to do with the 2012 Olympics. But yeah, let's get over to that club shop now. Let's see what the club shop has, and let's see what we're going to add to our collection at the end of the season, maybe before, when we visited all 20 of these Premier League stadiums. We can do a video on each and every one of the items we picked up from every Premier League club shop. I have got to admit though, it's just my opinion, I'm really not a fan of the newer club crest. I hate it when clubs completely simplify their badge, when the old badge was fairly simple as it was, but the old badge was beautiful. There was no need to simplify. I know why they've done it. Obviously they've moved here and they wanted to become more marketable. They're emphasising the London part. But I guess for overseas fans, or for growing a club overseas, that's why they've done it. They've become a brand. But they've lost, like, the castle. They've lost a part of their heritage on the badge. I loved the old badge, the shape of it with the West Ham United underneath. It was beautiful. West Ham fans, let me know in the comments below. Were you a fan of the change of the badges? I guess you probably weren't. Yeah, not really a fan of it. I know Arsenal did a similar thing, and again, even most Arsenal fans will say they preferred the old badge. Man United simplified theirs in like the late 90s, but all they did was take out the football club and kept the badge relatively the same. So I was alright with that, I could understand it, but yeah, not a fan of the new badge. It's not even new, is it? I think they had the badge for the 2016-17 season when they moved in here. did get told off for filming in there, and that's just not an exclusive thing to West Ham. Most clubs don't let you film in the shop, but I've been rest assured that we can film throughout the tour and everywhere else. But what did I get from the West Ham United club shop? Let's go and take a look, shall we? So we went for that £10 pillow. Reason being, I've got a little bit of a man cave at home, bit of a shed, yeah, like a man cave shed type thing, which I'm going to be refurbishing very soon. We're going to have a proper setup, a studio setup in the man cave, and we're going to probably have some kind of sofa, a little bit like old school soccer Ebb in the 90s. So we could put that West Ham pillow, and I could be the new Tim Lovejoy. Not quite on Tim Lovejoy's standard, but I could attempt to be the new Tim Lovejoy of 2024. Now guys, underneath the club shop, the stadium store, is where the tour begins. If you go down the stairs, there's a little cafe in there, the shirt printing, and where the tour begins. So we got to meet down there for about 1:45. Hope you're enjoying these videos. Stick the thumbs up if you are. Sorry if I do ramble a little bit. I get carried away, I get excitable on these tours. So I'm going to shut up for a moment, have a coffee, and then we'll see you as we enter, I was about to say Upton Park again, the London Stadium. Let's crack on with the tour.
You haven't got any bags, and you can walk through with me. Okay? Any bags? No bags? This landing, basically the West Stand, has got all the hospitality. So ranging from upstairs, Great Britain, the Academies are all these sort of 7 lounges that we've got. If you was to come here match day for a category A game, sit down on these £750 seats top of the roof because it's so large. So when you've got, for a capacity football crowd now of 62,500 in the back there with no smoke glass doors, so who's ever covering this.
So the tour guide's given us some useful information. Obviously the running track got removed, but they're very much keen on keeping this a multi-purpose venue, similar to how the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has NFL. This obviously has Major League Baseball in the summer. The seats, as I said, these move back, so it can change to whatever events here. If there's a concert here, the capacity allowed for football was 62,500, but if there's a concert on, that'll be 80,000, which is weird. They can have more seats, but the council won't allow them. Would say it's not safe for football. I like the fact that the Sir Trevor Brooking stand, they've got a Sir Trevor Brooking stand and a Bobby Moore stand like they had at Upton Park, so it's quite nice that they brought those traditions back to the new stadium.
For the medal ceremony, then they were all brought over to the stadium.
So the players on match days come through those doors, park up in that car park, they come through here and into the home dressing room, which is where we're going now. Obviously, interviews around here. Cheers, mate. It's its own dressing room, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So this is where my fellow Herefordian Jared Bowen would be sitting. A little bit of an upgrade to the Hereford FC dressing rooms, I'm sure. It is still quite basic. It's not quite as flash as some of the change rooms we've looked at on these tours.
Big screen now. Slates for the Ferrari, lactic acid. You've got
this pillar here is a genuine pillar. I can't remember what stadium it was. They put a fake pillar in the away dressing room to kind of make things uncomfortable. Oh wow. Goodison Park, there was like 6 showers. There was like 20 showers in there. obviously earlier on we were speaking about this sort of stand being able to be moved back when there's other events other than football on. We did mention in the Etihad tour, again doing the comparison with the Etihad, they actually dug downwards. So obviously this is ground level, but in the Etihad they actually dug down, so the pitch is a lot lower. That's how they built their capacity up. West Ham don't have that privilege because again they want to retain the fact that this is a multi-purpose stadium and they don't want to like officially get rid of the running track. You've got like carpet here at the moment, but yeah, they haven't been granted planning permission to dig down and do what Man City have done with the Etihad, which is a shame. But then again, 62,500 in capacity, second highest average attendance in the Premier League. Do they really need to dig down as well? I mean, it would be like a 100,000 seat stadium, wouldn't it, if they actually utilised everything? Again, yeah, 80,000 are allowed in here for concerts, but only 62,500. In that room we were in previously, by the way, that's been used as a dressing room for Beyonce, the Rolling Stones. Obviously it doesn't look that flash, but they do it all out according to the artist that's going to be there. Really impressive. I'm going to be honest, from the outside I wasn't that impressed. I thought it was rather generic. When you look around internally, I mean, again, it is a little bit similar to the Etihad, but you're going to get those similarities with the type of stadium it is, but it is quite unique for an English football stadium. These kind of domey type stadiums, circular ones, maybe a little bit more common overseas in European football, maybe like Serie A. But in England, again, it's not a popular thing because the fans of West Ham liked Upton Park, the bowling ground, because they were up close to the pitch. But again, they mentioned with the roof, this is one of the largest cantilever roofs, possibly the largest cantilever roof on a football stadium. Cantilever means you've got none of the supporting posts like you'd have in like an old stadium like Goodison Park. But yeah, the roof, once the atmosphere's buzzing, once West Ham are on fire and winning like they were against Man United the other week, the atmosphere, because of the roof, is loud, is intense. I guess we've got to make our way over to, I'm not sure if this is the home or the away dugout. We've got both over there. Real comfy looking seats.
Come on, you Irons!
Come on, you Irons! Apparently the fans along the side of the pitch, because the groundsman over there, the greenkeeper, he gets really hot when he's mowing the lawn, so he demands that they put a fan on. Just to confirm as well, this is the legitimate, this is exactly where David Moyes would be sat managing the game, and I'm sure I could do I couldn't do a better job. He's doing a great job. I don't know why people say Moyes out. He's that's his view. Yeah, as I was saying, a lot of people were, or West Ham fans, are wanting David Moyes out at particular parts of the early parts of the season, but just look at them, I think they're 7th as of filming this. Doing a cracking job. This is the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team dressing room. I thought it was going to be the away dressing room, but it's way too nice. It's probably nicer than West Ham, way nicer than West Ham's dressing room actually. Sofas. Yeah. West Ham should be changing in here really.
I realise that, but in the back, let's show you up here, and I'll show you the bat and warming oven.
Bat warming oven.
Yeah, you can see it, there it is.
Where is it?
Yeah, there.
Oh, in there.
Warming oven, right there.
Yeah. It literally is an oven.
Yeah. We have the photographic opportunity, so it's brilliant for your souvenirs.
Bit basic. Bit basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So quite bland, the away dressing room, but there's nothing unusual going on here. The only thing they do on match day apparently is amplify the smell of bleach. Apparently Chelsea polished the floors, Forest screwed down their windows and turned the heating up, and it's Leicester that put the pillar in. But yeah, just a stinky smell of bleach, and the heating turned up.
The 2012 Olympics. So if you look closely there, you can see Usain Bolt's bite mark. See it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Take care. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Wow, what a decent stadium tour that was. Can't remember the tour guide's name, but credit to him. Lovely people as well. And as I said, it wasn't that appealing from the outside. It was a little bit boring, I thought, but inside really good, and something you don't really see in Premier League stadiums. I keep mentioning the closest thing to it would probably be Man City, or maybe Tottenham. We're going to Tottenham in a moment. Multi-purpose stadium and all that. Major League Baseball in there, NFL at Tottenham. Even threw in, guys, a free programme. This might be the end of this video, but now we're going to head over to the old Upton Park site. So head over on the screen right now for part 2 up here, or check out below that my other stadium tours. I'll see you in the next video.